Hi, everyone. My name's Meg. I am the director of sales here at Buildout. I've been with Buildout. It's coming up on 6 years this summer, which feels crazy because the time's just absolutely flown by. But one of the things that's really kept me here for all this time is just the insatiable drive to continuously evolve with our broker community here at Buildout. Buildout as a company has always been committed to solving real, relevant problems alongside our customers. And that has kept my job really fun and really rewarding over the last several years. AI has been a hot topic as part of that evolution over the last several months in particular. So I'm excited to be here to chat AI with all of you today. This is definitely one of our most highly requested and attended events. So I'm really grateful to be part of the conversation with you all. And I'm also so grateful and humbled to be joined here today with our VP of Enterprise Growth, Taylor Clausen. So Taylor, I'll let you jump in and introduce yourself.
Hi, Meg. Yes, thanks. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining today. Like Meg said, I'm our VP of Enterprise Growth. I spend my days here at Buildout working with some of our larger customers, partners, deploying Buildout products across all markets and sometimes thousands of brokers. And just wanted to echo what Meg said. Thanks for not only participating today, but we had some polling and had you answer some questions as a prereq before joining today. So happy to bring some of your perspective to the content today. Thanks for sharing your insights, your answers with us. And I'll just note, we hope that doesn't end with the content today. That this is an evolving, ongoing conversation and a dialogue, and we're just excited and grateful to be part of it with you all. So thanks for joining.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we jump in, AI is a pretty buzzy word and topic right now. There's definitely a lot of excitement around AI developments, but there's varying levels of experience on this call. So I just wanted to take a quick moment before we get started to define a term that might be new to some of you, and that term is generative AI. So when we're talking about generative AI, we're referring to deep learning models that can generate high quality text, images, and other content based on the data that they were trained on. It's really important to note that these tools are only ever learning from the past. So even if it's updated through this morning, it's still going to need your ideas and your insights to help build content that really shapes the future of, a property or a community. So now that we've established generative AI and its pitfalls, let's take a quick pulse check and see who is currently using AI for their job today. And as you know, when we asked you for your questions, when you registered on AI, we asked how you were using it or how you want to use it. And let me tell you, we got some really interesting responses. You all did not hold back, which is great. So we're really excited to get to your stories and your questions. And quite a few of you, let us know that you haven't quite started using AI or you're kind of scared to start. And that's okay too. We want to make sure that, you're using it effectively. And that's really why we're here to help start the conversation and to help to continue the conversation after today.
All right, it looks like quite a few of you put, well, almost split that you're using it, and quite a few of you all that mentioned that you're not using it as well. It's reminding me of another survey that we did recently with the broker list of saying about 30 to 40% of all brokers that we polled are planning to use AI for some part of their normal job workflow, some part of their list of tasks today within the next year. So that rings true. Okay.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our first topic then, which is picking the right vendor. So when it comes to AI, and we've got people on kind of all ends of the spectrum here and in their understanding and use of AI today. But I think in general, we can all agree that it can be overwhelming. And knowing where to start with AI can be really confusing. But the biggest thing that you all should know is that you really shouldn't be expected to become an AI expert or master overnight. I think this is a really common misconception and makes the topic or can make the topic of AI feel even more daunting. But in reality, you should really be able to rely on your tech vendors to bring you the critical information and deliver AI in meaningful areas that just seamlessly fit into your current process. We've heard from many of you that, you haven't started using this type of technology yet. You're kind of unsure where to start and that it can feel really overwhelming at times. And this is all very true. I think Taylor and myself, have felt this way as well. Um, but that's why when you start using AI, it's really important to remember that you're not just picking a vendor. You're really picking a true partner, and you need to know the questions to ask and make sure that, the new partners that you are choosing, are using AI intentionally.
Yeah, I like to think of it as AI is here to not replace what brokers are doing today, but as a tool to augment, to supplement, to enhance so that you can better serve your clients and better spend your time what you are most good at. To that end, we actually recently came out with a new AI feature within our showcase platform, our marketing automation part of our platform. And you may have heard of him already as Al. That's our AI's name, Al. And he's here to make your property listing a breeze. And we're going to talk more about that later, show you a bit of a demo. But when it came to rolling out Al, we wanted to ensure it was something our customers would be able to use easily, pick up quickly, and learn so they could get started using it right away.
Yeah, exactly. Wanting it to be able to fit as seamlessly into the current process that, brokers are already running within our tools. And I just think it's really important to be able, to know the right questions to ask your vendors as you're kind of evaluating where AI might fit into your process. What does the product roadmap look like? How long does it really take for customers to fully leverage your platform or your tools? How do you handle customer questions and feedback? How quickly do you get back to customer questions and feedback? And what individuals are really part of that team supporting you? These are all really key questions to ask your future vendor, because ideally, when you're picking a tech vendor, you're also picking a long-term partner for your business. All right. So once we've picked our vendor, it's time to get to work. We received a ton of questions around using AI to prospect, so definitely wanted to make sure that we highlighted this as a topic. While data and research is still kind of coming out about this prospecting topic, there are definitely things that you can do now to help make the task of prospecting a little less daunting and a little bit easier. So when it comes to prospecting, AI can really give you the upper hand. It does that in a couple of ways. This type of technology, it's still coming out with new developments to help make, the tasks of cold calling and prospecting a little bit easier. But we're headed into a direction where ultimately we can hopefully be saving time. So instead of hours of doing your own research, soon, you'll be able to ask who owns 123 property in Chicago. And AI will be able to give you the possible owners and not just the LLC, but the true owner information behind that LLC. So hopefully saving you, hours of digging through those records yourself and uncovering that owner contact information on your own. It is important to note that right now, really any AI can work through like county assessor records or publicly available tax documents, or really anything to come up with a list of names that are connected to a property. But it's important to know that if it's a 30-tenant office building, for example, you might end up with a list of every single person who's ever scanned a security badge to enter or exit that building. And this is where AI can, hopefully come in and help make the task a little bit easier. AI tools that are purposely built for CRE are soon going to be able to help qualify that owner contact data and recognize which names are actually connected to ownership activities and deliver an owner or their LLC faster than, a team of researchers. It's something that we're working on ourselves to help make your jobs a little bit easier so that interns can continue to verify data accuracy while your AI worries about the data management component.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll add here just as a word of caution, where AI can be super effective at combing through massive amounts of data to be able to winnow down to, yeah, who is the property owner of this particular property? What is the true contact data for the members of this LLC, et cetera, et cetera. Things that could take hours, days, weeks, maybe entire teams, just being able to better qualify, clean data, right? This is a real appropriate use case for AI. Something that might be a bit more of a slippery slope, just as a word of caution, is going the extra step to outsource the actual phone calls to AI. I wouldn't be surprised, and again, this is me, um, just you know, thinking about the future here, but knowing how, there's been how spam rules are in existence today and can spam regulations of the past, I wouldn't be surprised to see similar type of regulation that happens in the future to help mitigate, some of the spam robocallers that are out there. So I think that's a real keen practical example of there's a line, there's a threshold where you as the human, as the real intelligence, bring real value there when you're on the phone. We can just, through the use of AI, better qualify those leads so that time is better spent on the most qualified leads, getting to the right person quicker, helping that speed to lead so that you can start to cultivate the relationship, make the pitch, close the deal, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something we've even thought about, with our own sales team. There's definitely a balance you want to strike between that human contact, that human connection, versus, getting in the weeds with some of these tools.
Yeah, yeah. I actually have one anecdote that we learned early on is from Hartley S. from K Finance, shared that they're already using AI to more efficiently prospect and enrich data on their leads, using these different data sources to bring in additive sources to help maybe fill out a profile on a particular lead, add in a phone number or email or associate or maybe financials or tax information, et cetera. It's amazing to hear. Thanks for sharing that. Happy to hear that people are already beginning to see some of the benefits of this type of technology. I think Hartley's story also reminds us too that AI can be useful in more ways than one at one time, and that leads us to this next point, which is data management.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a great application. AI can, also save you time in the research aspect. Instead of compiling that data, sorting through it, and putting it into your own digestible format. That can take hours, if not days or weeks of your time or your team's time. But you can leverage AI to pull all of these data points and compile highlights important details into a really easy to read format. Which again is just a really awesome application here that will lend itself to some time savings. Through AI tools and solutions, you can really easily search for history of a building, an area of a city, or even a specific street, and you can get a complete comprehensive history within minutes rather than, again, it taking those hours or days to get it all together. And AI algorithms can also help you clean your databases to ensure you're not, following up on old or inactive leads and contacts, which I know is certainly something, we've thought about on our own sales team. Just making sure that, we're spending our time in the right places with the most relevant leads and contacts.
Yeah, Meg, and once that data is clean, the data is in a spot where you're ready to act on it and execute on some of these tasks and workflows and prospect with the data. Another use case could be executing on those lists of tasks. Soon, I think data, contact management, it'll be as easy as saying to your phone, hey, email Jane Doe with template 3 of that, that email template that you'd already previously set up. Yet another example of letting you focus on the more important tasks, but still without letting contacts fall by the wayside. It can be so much more than a research and CRM tool, too. Generative AI can also quickly analyze lengthy documents to provide summaries. You can teach and train your AI tools to be able to pull out key clauses, key terms, to be able to fast track getting lease agreements signed, is yet another example. We heard from another customer. Well, this is Rick C. from Lee and Associates, using AI data to clean data and then put it into a CSV format for him so that then he can import into a CRM. I'm sure this is a process many of you are familiar with today, having to maybe take data from a few different disparate places, or you're switching vendors, or there's a new spot that you need to put your data. Can some of these tools available now with AI allow you to make that process that much easier, that much more streamlined? This does highlight that there's also been some concerns about striking the right balance, again, that we've talked about, leveraging AI and human resources. I think a helpful question to ask yourself in that instance, if you don't currently have an assistant, can you turn to AI to do some of these smaller day-to-day tasks, such as sending an email, moving contacts into a nurture program? If you do have an assistant, look at their day-to-day tasks today. Can they be focused on something that's perhaps more strategic? And can some of the tasks on your assistant's plate be outsourced to an AI, for instance?
Yeah, I think those are great points. I didn't think about the CRM data management component with just like cleaning out data, whether you're moving to a new CRM or updating your CRM. But this is something that we get a lot of requests and questions about on the sales end. So I think it's definitely another key area that you can leverage AI. All right. So while AI, can help with making your data management a little bit easier, finding prospects faster, it can also really help you make better business decisions. Predictive analytics can help tell you based on owner history if an owner is, let's say, more or less likely to sell, which can be really, really critical, again, in saving time with prospecting.
Yeah, we discussed this a bit earlier, but AI can quickly, for example, gather historical data on buildings, owners, areas, and then use something called predictive analytics to let you know what would make for a good investment for people looking to get into real estate. It is important to stress that while AI can quickly gather data and provide insight, you should still go back, do your own due diligence, and make sure you feel okay with your decisions, with whatever's being spit out by the AI tool that you're using. You can't rely solely on technology to make these decisions for you, but it can give you a head start and get you started. I would think of it as these AI tools, again, can parse massive amounts of data to help you make a better decision, not make the decision for you, though, however, but empower you to either make a decision faster or better support that decision with data so that it can be communicated to other stakeholders.
Yeah, totally. I think it kind of goes back to one of those pitfalls, AI is only as good as the information that it's gotten in the past and the information that's coming from the broker or from all of you. So it's really important to kind of pressure test those predictive analytics as well. All right, now we are moving into discuss the final way that brokers are leveraging AI today to find and win more deals. So one of the most important components with your deal cycle is your marketing. Your marketing helps expand your network. It helps you attract new prospective buyers and investors, and it can even help you win future clients. So it's really important to stand out with within your marketing. But as important as creating your marketing materials is, it's really not what you should be doing in your day-to-day, every day. You need to be out there nurturing, creating relationships, and ultimately, hopefully, closing some deals. So that's why more and more brokers are turning to AI to quickly and efficiently create their marketing materials, including things like generating property descriptions, location descriptions, highlights. So they're not spending time wordsmithing all of these different components of their marketing. They're really leveraging AI tools that can, take property details and transform their data into lengthy descriptions, highlights, things like that, that will, tell the right story and really entice buyers and tenants alike.
Yeah, another story from the audience here. Thomas C. from SVN shared with us that he is using AI specifically for this purpose, and sure as well, it's actually through Al, our tool within the showcase tool within Buildout, and he's using Al to generate those property and location descriptions, which is great. I mean, Al is designed to do just that. Keep making your marketing material simple. And we actually made a recent update where Al can make these property and location descriptions in your tone of voice so that when it generates your description, it sounds like you.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being at the SVN conference not too long after we had initially released Al within our showcase or marketing platform. And it was really cool. It made me really happy to hear that people were already getting in there and using it and seeing the benefits and the impact of it kind of simplifying their day-to-day and the lift that it takes to go into their marketing materials. So this has been a lot of talk, but this is one aspect I'd love to show everybody in action. So I'm going to jump quick into a demo account here. All right, so I've just got an example of a marketing brochure from my demo account, and you can see specifically here, I'm going to call your attention over to our property description. Here I just have a sample property description. It's fairly generic, quick and concise, but maybe it's all that I had time to kind of put together before getting this brochure out the door. And I need a little help from my buddy Al. So I'm going to jump into my demo account here, and I am going to jump into my property edit form. For those who are maybe less familiar with Buildout Showcase platform, this is the single point of data entry. So it's the one form you go to put in all of your property information. And then this is what helps feed those different components of your marketing process. So if I scroll down to my property description. We use our location description here. And I hit generate description. Al is going to pop up. My prompt is going to be generated for me using the information or the other data points that I already have within my property edit form. And in a matter of seconds, I've leveraged Al to help me tell a more complete story about this property, or in this case, about this particular property location. So again, Al is scanning the other data points within my property edit form to help generate this specific location description for me. And then I can further edit by, let's say, asking Al to shorten it, or maybe there's a particular, specific data point that I want to make sure that Al includes, like that nearby train stop. This is really testing my Chicago knowledge. And then Al will regenerate with whatever, additional data point that I had requested. And then if I click use, it'll automatically be dropped into my property edit form for me to save. Once it's saved, it'll automatically be updated on any marketing components that I have attached to Buildout here, like your documents, your website, pushing to, any third-party listing sites you might have connected, any email blasts you've created, things like that. And then as Taylor mentioned, one of the other coolest updates here, which I'm so excited about, is the ability to kind of further personalize Al within the AI settings of your Buildout profile. So from here, you can further describe your tone or your preference when it comes to like a specific writing style. And then Al will utilize this information when putting together your prompts and putting together your descriptions within your property edit form, so that, again, the tone, the voice, it resonates with you a little bit more closely, and ultimately resonates with your target audience a little bit more closely. So these are just a couple of the really awesome updates that our team has put out. Definitely more to come here, but I have been really, really excited about these updates. These are things that we've been getting requests for a really long time, because let's be honest, you don't always have time to put together the most artistic story that your property might deserve when it comes to those descriptions or highlights. And not everybody is a professional marketing wordsmith. I know that I certainly am not. And so this is definitely an area where AI can be really helpful and can help save a ton of time, especially if you're, putting together multiple listings at once. All right. I think that is all that we've got on the agenda for today. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is a really, really fun conversation, and it's really just the start of this conversation. I think we'll continue to see more and more developments, and Buildout is definitely excited to help be a partner in the developments that you make as you kind of pursue more and more AI in your day-to-day.
Yes, thanks everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your time. We will be sending out the recording to all those registered today and following up on those questions that came through as well. And looking forward to the next one.
Thanks, everyone.